I have a few folks from our team, and they're going to kind of just help go through some of the summer 22 release notes. Each of them have experience in each of the different areas covered. So today we're going to go through manufacturing cloud and some of the release notes associated with that. We're also going to go through service cloud, marketing cloud, and experience cloud. So those are the four areas that we decided were worth noting for this summer 22 release. And we'll take about 3 to 4 minutes for Suraj, who will be working on the manufacturing cloud side of it. Then we'll have Joe, who will be working on the marketing cloud side, Taylor on the service cloud side, and then Andrew on the experience cloud side of things, or also known as community. And after each one of those, we'll just stop for a discussion just for a few minutes. That way we can chat through if anyone on the call has something else they wanted to add about manufacturing cloud or service cloud, or any of the other ones, and just kind of chat through it a little bit. Whether it's a question or in the cautionary tale type of thing. So without further ado, Suraj, feel free to say just a little bit about yourself, and let me know if I'm in the right area for screen sharing, and we can go from there.
Yep. You're good, Jason. Thank you. Hey, everyone. My name is Suraj, and I have been working with Eigenex as a consultant for the past 5 years. And in that time, I have worked on sales, service, community experience cloud, and manufacturing clients. So going into the summer 2022 release for manufacturing cloud, the first topic will be the program-based business management. Jason, if you can go to the next slide.
It's very, very sensitive. 1 second.
Sure. Thank you. So what this does is this gives an end-to-end visibility towards your entire manufacturing business. This also lets the account managers track the current opportunities, as well as collaborate with different stakeholders such as financial and product engineers, and create programs for their accounts. So once you have a basic skeleton of a program, you can either use the out-of-the-box templates or even upload the data directly into the program object. And you can track different kind of forecast, as well as compare sales agreements actuals versus their forecast, variances, components, and even parts required for product production. The Experience Cloud also has a manufacturing cloud template, which supports program-based business management. So you can also collaborate with partners over there. So once the tracked opportunity is won, since the data is already there in the system, you can easily create a sales agreement from there. And this gives the users the ability to convert Salesforce opportunities into a run rate business in one smooth process without any discontinuity. The next topic we have is Tableau Accelerator for rebate management. So Salesforce is introducing out-of-the-box Tableau dashboards that can be used inside Manufacturing Cloud. So these dashboards can be used to visualize the effect of different rebate percentages, their tiers, as well as compare different rebate program plans and see if any changes are required. You can also visualize the partner incentive performances and figure out what is the best if there is any cross-selling opportunities available there. Similar to the Tableau dashboard, Salesforce is also introducing CRM analytics dashboards, and these works very well with the rebates. These works very well with the forecast. So you can visualize the best case, worst case forecast, as well as the different factors that's affecting your forecast, so that you can overall keep the business in a profitable area. And I think the last topic we have is a MuleSoft connector. So Salesforce is introducing a connector that already has pre-built APIs. So you can easily connect from Manufacturing Cloud into different external systems such as SAP or SAP HANA. So if you have information there such as products or orders or pricing data, you can easily bring it into Manufacturing Cloud. And instead of having data in a siloed and discontinued manner, you can view all the data inside Manufacturing Cloud and make effective decisions. So that kinds of summarizes the summer 22 release for the manufacturing cloud.
Yeah, and thank you, Suraj. And I was, anyone on the call today, if anyone has any thoughts on for manufacturing cloud specifically, anything that they may have seen in this release, or kind of just anything they wanted to discuss, I'd be happy to chat through it a little bit more. But I'm not sure if anyone feel free to jump in if you had a question, statement, comment, or anything like that.
This is Phil Howell. I have one. I've been having a difficult time understanding how it comes up with the best case, worst case forecast. How generally, I haven't seen anything that points to a real statistical forecast, although I thought I heard something about it in the latest partner enablement seminar. Can anyone help with that? You too? Okay.
No, so I was just on our side, I was just thinking a little bit. So the best case, worst case, and I've had some questions about that too, because it's almost like the idea behind it's like, well, what's driving it? What factors
Right.
are we not seeing, type of thing.
Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah, exactly. So I've had similar questions around it. I haven't got a definitive answer on it, but it's definitely something I can circle back and see if one of the sales engineers or someone like that might be able to kind of describe it a little bit more in detail. I'm not sure if Andrew or anyone else on the call has any thoughts on that other than what I just mentioned.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in the same boat. I think a young lady on our team named Sky might have a better answer, but she's obviously not on here. But I can also circle back and see if I can get you some more details around that.
It's a great question, though, because I was thinking the same thing the other day, actually.
Yeah, thank you, Jason.
Perfect. Any other questions or thoughts on manufacturing cloud? Otherwise, we could move into service in just a moment or two. Alrighty, we will jump right into service and keep this thing rolling. All right, the next individual from our team, Taylor, if you want to say a few words about yourself and let me know if I'm on the right spot.
Sure. Hi, guys. My name is Taylor. I've been a Salesforce consultant here at it'll be a year in September. Mainly focused on Experience Cloud, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, things of that nature. So we'll get started here with Service Cloud. So Jason, if you want to move to the next slide for me. So one of the really cool features that they're implementing is swarming. So swarming are basically dedicated swarm channels with different departments based on expertise. So it adds 2 new objects as swarm members, and 3 flows. So if a representative or individual ever has an issue with a case, a client, something of that sort, they can go to the Slack channels and basically get with experts from different departments and get their expertise and input on the issue and get it resolved as quick as possible. So, I mean, you can use this for a bunch of different things. You can use it for different buyer groups, different product specifications, if you need help with that, shipping, a bunch of different things. You can create your own Slack channels. You can use ones that already exist. It's fully customizable. So you can bring in a bunch of different experts and get their input. All right, we'll move on to the next one.
Hey, Taylor, this is Andrew. Quick question. I know that's tailored towards Slack as kind of the communication channel there. We had a client the other day ask about if that capability would be extended to Teams or other instant messaging type applications. Are you aware of any of that, or is it all just going to be kind of Slack focused for now?
As far as I'm aware, it's all Slack focused right now. So I'm not sure if they plan for the future to move towards Teams. As all I've heard right now is that it's just going to be strictly Slack.
Yeah, and from all the AEs I've talked to and things like that, I think Slack, obviously, with once they were acquired, it was basically give them primary, and then
Yep.
work with Teams and every external third-party vendor after. So
Yep.
I would imagine we see something in the pipeline, and we're talking a future release. But everything I've talked to AEs about and everything like that was really Slack specific.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just curious because we didn't
Yeah,
really answer
it would
that.
be great. It would be great because we're a team shop on our side for the most part. So that's where my head went first. I was like, is this one beneficial for our clients, but two, how about ourselves? So
Yep.
Okay. Moving on to the enhanced scheduling and optimization tool. This is a really cool feature that basically allows you to set up scheduled jobs that run for specific or defined groups. So you can use it for buying groups. One of the really cool features with this is called travel modes. So this basically takes into account for like shipping needs or for service appointments. It takes into account the type of transportation, any hazards, toll roads, even traffic patterns, and can basically build the best route for those services to make their appointments. So it's easier for appointment scheduling and delivery of products on time. There's also, as a part of this, the sliding service appointment feature. So basically you can slide appointments either left or right, earlier or later, and you can add in new appointments to optimize your schedule. It also takes into account holidays, time off, things like that. So it's really good for supervisors in particular, with like shipping appointments, deadlines, overall schedule effectiveness, etc.
yeah, and one other thing to add to that is that I know we're doing a field service implementation right now at our company, or we have a client that's going through that right now, and this definitely came up recently. So definitely a cool feature and something that we're actually starting to use. So updates to follow on that as we go through that implementation and future user group meetings. So could be a cool one.
All right, and the next one is the messaging for in-app and web. So this actually was effective as of yesterday. So this is brand new, just was implemented yesterday. You can basically create chat features with potential clients, buying groups, what have you. You can create Einstein bots that can start conversations and help your clients with any issues that they might have. The issue that they have on that screen right there is to replace a product. If they have trouble ordering specific items, you can help them there. The customer also does not need to be in an app or in a browser to keep the chat going. So when either the bot or the representative, there's a smooth transition there. When they respond to the client, they get notified to pick up the conversation and they can jump back in anytime. So this is a really cool feature. All right, and then we'll move to management tool. So this is, again, kind of just a tool to help staff and supervisors notify staff or agents when shifts are, if there's a change in their shift, any job profile changes for what they're doing that day or that week. It really also allows supervisors to kind of close that gap between forecasting work and their actual staffing needs. So for example, if you have an expansion going on in your business, in your manufacturing plant, supervisors can use that. They can see the trends and, okay, we're receiving a lot of orders in this department. Let's go ahead and allocate more staff, more resources to this department to fill that need. And again, I mean, you can basically customize it. You can see trends, you can see open availability, and you can basically tailor it to your business and your needs. And then finally, this is just another cool tool. This is basically real-time monitoring with your agents who are in the field. So if your agents ever have an issue, they can raise a flag on their end. in which the supervisor will be notified of the flag, and then they can respond through a whisper channel and give them next steps as to how to resolve that problem or what they need to do next. Previously, it was a one-way channel, so the agent could only contact the supervisor. Now it's both ways, and then they have that flag feature for there as well. And again, this can be used for numerous issues, transportation issues, next steps, how to solve just any general issue in the field for your agents or for your staff.
All righty. Thanks, Taylor. Was there anything else in particular or that you wanted to touch on, or otherwise we could open up for questions?
I think that's it.
Perfect. Did anyone have questions, comments regarding Service Cloud and some of the things that they made some updates for the summer 22 release? Alrighty. And I think it's actually probably a good segue into Marketing Cloud, just because I know the messaging for in-app and web, as Taylor mentioned with the recent release on that, you're definitely seeing more and more, and even in Experience Cloud too, some of these branding changes and things like that. So whether it's, storefront type things with Commerce Cloud and things like that, but it is all blending together, which is nice to see. And but yeah, anyone have anything else? Otherwise, we can have Joe from our team get into Marketing Cloud. All right, Joe, feel free to kick things off and take it from here.
All right. Thanks, Jason. My name is Joe Doyle. I've been with Eigenex since last October. I've been working with Salesforce for the past 8 years, and I'm a certified Salesforce administrator, also mainly working in the Marketing Cloud environment. And I'll be covering the Marketing Cloud summer release notes section. So the first item is Marketing Cloud Intelligence Database exports. Marketing Cloud Intelligence is the new name for Marketing Cloud Datorama, which is Salesforce reporting and analytics for your Marketing Cloud environment. So what this does is, you see the two database names on the screen. You're able to export your Marketing Cloud data and all the information that you get from your engagement, and you're directly able to export that to those databases. So instead of having to export a file, mapping the fields, and then doing an upload process, the entire process is done through those two databases right there. They walk you through the steps. You're able to kind of verify everything's already in place and then actually sync it. And then you're saving a lot of time and making sure that all that information is fully up to date and correct. The next one is related to related profile attributes. So in terms of marketing, catering to a specific customer is key to any marketing strategy. In terms of like personalization. So you always want to pull in like first name or last name, some of like the key details, and make sure that you're talking to that customer directly. What this update does is you're able to turn on a checkbox field to pull in related information. So let's say you want to reach out to a customer. You can also pull in there the product that they may have purchased, the product number, kind of dive into and get more individualized communication saying, hey, we saw you brought this product. This is what the product number was. And then when they get that email, they're a lot more likely to engage and respond to that if there's any other information, because they know that they have your information that was on hand. The next item was a community requested update. This is completion action enhancements. Think of this as when you reached out to customers and they took specific actions. Previously, you had to do a lot of manual steps in order to add them to lists or add them to any type of subsequent communication that you want to keep track of the information based on that action that the customer took. So what this does is you can set up automated processes to add people to lists depending on if they open an email, if they respond to an email, if they click a link, or if they fill out a specific form. And then within those forms, if they answered a certain way, you can set up automations that they automatically get added to a list. and you can use that list to send further communication. So another kind of time saver of, instead of having to take 5 steps to set up this process, you can just set up this automation. Then you'll see that person be added to a list or a specific campaign, and then use follow-up communication there. The last one is triggered campaign messages, and this is mainly related to Interaction Studio. And that's about like an Amazon experience of like purchasing things. And what this is related to is you're able to do real-time events and communication based on specific actions that happen within that Interaction Studio, or like product shopping experience. So if a price goes down, you're able to kind of send somebody an email. If somebody adds items to a cart and then they end up not purchasing that item, you can go back in and send that person an email. Instead of having to manually kind of go through each process of seeing how many people put items in their cart, but they didn't actually complete the purchase, you can set up an entire process of, if they spend X amount of time looking at items, they add it to a cart, but they don't take any actions, automatically enter them into a journey or engagement experience and make sure they get the proper communication in order to reach that customer and get that person business.
All right, next one. I think that probably covers it. Anything else to add to that in particular, Joe?
I think the main Marketing Cloud ones were just ways to save time. It's a lot of automated areas instead of doing things manually. So if you're doing things on the manual process, so just try to see if there's any ways you can kind of save time and be able to further engage with customers.
Thanks for that. Did anyone have any questions or thoughts on Marketing Cloud and how it worked with this release? Alrighty. I know we had there was one of our other team members, Andrew. I'm not sure if he's joined the call yet or not. But ultimately, we wanted to go through Experience Cloud. But so I can bring that up on my screen here, and I can touch on it. And then if Andrew, it looks like he's just joining right now. Hey, Andrew, can you hear us okay? We'll let him get situated, and then we'll let him get right into it.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me now, Jason?
I can. Let me get down to Experience Cloud on here, and we can get you off and running.
Great, thank you.
And feel free to chat a little bit about yourself before kind of jumping into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm a Salesforce consultant. I've been working in the Salesforce space for about a little bit over 5 years now. Started out as like a junior Salesforce admin, and then sort of worked up to an admin. Now I've been in consulting for a little bit. Yeah, and so we're going to be speaking about the Experience Cloud today. So do you want to go to the next slide?
Yep, no problem. And we'll get it off and running.
Great. So these first two are both in beta, so they're still testing these out. But they've enhanced the CMS workspaces in Experience Cloud. And then there a few of these things is, one, you can now configure for Google Analytics 4 in Experience Builder settings, which if anyone's new to Google Analytics 4, by next July, Google Analytics is switching completely from Google Analytics 3 to 4. So if you use Google Analytics in your Experience Cloud, you'll need to make that update by next July at the latest. And then some of the other features, they've updated you can insert videos now. You can add, there's enhanced image features and enhanced formatting for links and things like that. And then you can unpublish and delete CMS content more easily. And then there's more developers of some more features in there. And do you want to go to the next slide? And then, so this one is also in beta, but they've enhanced the search features for Experience Cloud. So they've got 2 new components related to that. One is search input, which allows visitors to more easily search things through your site. And then the other one is results layout, which is it's a improved layout component for Experience Cloud. So this one, they've added sidebar extensions to Experience Cloud, where you can now, if you use like spell checker tools or tone checkers or translation helpers in Experience Cloud, you can now add these on, or you can get these more easily in the sidebar. Like they have used Grammarly in here, Google Translate. That's a little bit easier to work with now in Experience Cloud. So they've added additional multilingual support in the builder. You can now publish sites in up to 20 different languages through one LWR experience site. I don't remember exactly what it was before, but it's definitely an increase that you can now do 20 for each site. So that's definitely an improvement for multilingual support. You want to keep going? Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, so they've added some additional components. Then there's now flows in Experience Cloud sites. So you can use this, any screen flow that you've built in your flows, you can now access through the builder in here. And yeah, so that's definitely very helpful that you can make screen flows, and now you can choose any of them when you're building your sites with the flow component. So this one, they've changed the way the link selector works. You used to have to copy the link to your Experience Cloud site and know the link to be able to access it. Now they've made it a little bit easier. There's external URLs, and then there's a site page. You get to choose which one of those links you want to use. And if you choose the site page, it gives you an option to choose the drop down to which specific site page you want to link to. So it's just a little bit easier to deal with linking to your site when you're building it. You want to, I think 179 is the next slide here. Yeah, so they've added a few tools for the mobile publisher, or a few enhancements for the mobile publisher. You can turn your site more easily into an app in iOS or Android. And then so a few of the enhancements is, one, you can users can more easily deactivate their account. This was just to comply with Apple's new rules, but it's included in the by default that users can more easily deactivate their account. And then this other one is mobile publisher app updates. If you make updates to your app, you can force users to make an update, which is a new feature that is really helpful. You need to download, I believe there's a new component you need to download to be able to use that feature. And then the other enhancement is that they've added a home and a user settings by default on the tab bars.
Right. Was there anything else, Taylor in particular, or Andrew in particular?
Yeah, if you want to go, so I think there's still slides 181 through 184. There's still a couple of enhancements.
Perfect.
So they've added some enhancements to the custom domains. You used to only be able to work with the custom domains in production, but you can now test them in the sandbox. But they made a note that you need to make sure to, when you're moving from the sandbox to production, to edit where the domain, because it'll only link to either the sandbox or production. And if you're still linked to the sandbox, customers will click the link and go to your sandbox instead of your production org. Oh, and they've added some new security features here too as well for organizations that have the custom domain enabled. The first one is firewall, what's it called? The web application firewall, which is just catches and rejects attempts to compromise your system. And then the second feature they've added is new rate limiting, which is if there's an abnormally high increase in requests to your website, it'll block them from coming in for a time being. And these will be by default for anyone that uses custom domains. And this is another one that this will be turned on by default. If there's too many people on your website at one time, it'll have a custom page for too many requests. And you have the ability, you can customize this page if you want to fit with your brand, to say design it however you want to fit with your brand. But there's also just a default page for this that you can use that if you just want to have the default page automatically included. And then there were some improvements to high volume sites. So there used to be each transaction would process as it comes in. They've added the ability that if you're having a high traffic time, they'll keep all those transactions together and then do them in one micro batch. So it'll improve the speed of your website. And then you also have the ability to control when Apex requests for guests may be cached on your website. And this should improve the performance of your experience sites. And yeah, that was everything for the Experience Cloud updates.
All right. Anyone have any questions regarding Experience Cloud, or just wanted to share anything in regard to that? Okay, well, thanks, Andrew, and also thanks, Joe, Taylor, and Suraj for going through those and sharing some insights as to how this might help anyone on this call, from audience ranging from partners, other consulting companies, clients, and everyone in between. So thank you guys, much appreciated for lending some insight. In terms of the agenda for the remainder of this, it was kind of just open format. Just if there was anything that you guys felt, going forward would be beneficial for, for these type of release sessions, please let us know, especially Andrew and myself. And then in terms of just kind of open format, if there was any lingering questions that you were thinking about, whether it was related to what Andrew just mentioned with Experience Cloud, or if it was something regarding service manufacturing or Marketing Cloud, feel free to chat.
Hey, Jason,
Right.
I'll just ditto what you shared, and appreciate you and the IGNX team sharing these updates. I'll probably have to drop here shortly, so hopefully the recording worked. But we have a storm rolling through here now that just knocked out my Wi-Fi, so I'm tethered to my phone right now.
Fair enough. And well, thank you very much, everyone. I know we'll have a different agenda for our next manufacturing virtual meeting. Thanks again, everyone who presented. And feel free to reach out. I will put in the chat my email if you have any specific questions regarding this summer 22 release, but we'll put out a more formal agenda for what our next one is for next month. So thanks all. Feel free to conclude it, Andrew, or do whatever you need to, but it was a blast. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for coordinating.
Thank you, guys. Good job.